When was the last time you felt that? Not happy because something big happened. Not happy because you finally got something. Just happy. For no real reason at all. You probably remember being that kid, happy with a puddle of water, happy with a cardboard box, happy just because it was Saturday, and nothing was planned. At some point, that stopped. And the strange part, nobody took it from you. You learned to be that way, slowly, without realizing it. And that is exactly what this video is about. Here's what happened. Somewhere between being a kid and being an adult, your brain picked up a rule nobody announced, nobody taught it in school, but somehow almost everyone learns it. The rule sounds like this: happiness is something you earn. You get it after the exam, after the promotion, after you lose the weight, after things calm down, after everything is finally in order. Psychologists call this conditional happiness, and it sounds totally reasonable at first. Of course, you should work toward things. Of course, goals matter. But here's the problem. Conditional happiness doesn't work like a reward system. It works more like a moving goalpost. Every time you reach the condition changes. The finish line moves. And the happiness you were promised? Still pending. And this isn't just a feeling. There's data on this. A lot of it. In 1957, income per capita in the United States had more than doubled compared to the 1930s. People had more, much more. Were they significantly happier? No. Studies measuring happiness over the same period showed it had barely moved. More money, more stuff, more comfort, same baseline of happiness. The brain adapts. What used to feel like enough becomes the new floor, and the ceiling just rises again. Psychologist Tal Ben-Shahar, who taught one of Harvard's most popular courses on happiness, has a name for this specific pattern. He calls it the Arrival Fallacy. Simple version, the belief that when you finally arrive somewhere, the goal, the milestone, the dream, that's when the happiness starts. The problem is, the brain doesn't actually work that way. Arriving somewhere feels good for about 5 minutes. Then the brain adjusts, and it starts looking for the next place to arrive. Ben-Shahar actually discovered this through his own life. As a young competitive squash player, he was convinced that if he won a specific national tournament, he would finally be happy. He worked for it for years. He won. And for a brief moment, he was. Then the pressure came back. The emptiness returned. And he realized the tournament had never been the point. The belief that it was the problem. So how do you actually learn this? Because nobody sat you down and said, hey, from now on, put happiness behind a wall and only take it out when you've earned it. It happened more quietly than that. It happened through perfectly reasonable things. Things like school grades, parental expectations, social comparison, hustle culture, social media, and 1,000 small moments that taught you, not yet, not quite, you're almost there. Keep going. Think about social media for a second. Every time you scroll and see someone who has a better trip, a nicer home, a more impressive career, your brain registers that as a gap. Not as inspiration, as a gap between where you are and where you apparently should be. And that gap means not yet, which means not happy yet. Kids don't scroll like that. Kids look at the puddle in front of them. Adults look at everyone else's puddles. And here's what makes children different. Not that they have no problems, not that their lives are easier. It's that they haven't learned the rule yet. A child doesn't need to earn happiness. They don't need a reason. They don't need conditions to be met first. They feel it directly, whatever is in front of them right now, in this moment. They haven't been taught to wait. Not yet. Here's the uncomfortable part. The conditions you're waiting for, the specific salary, the relationship, the body, the career milestone. You built those yourself. Not consciously, not maliciously. But you did, and what that means is you're not waiting for the world to give you permission to be happy. You're waiting for yourself. You built the gate. You made the lock. And somewhere along the way, you forgot you were the one holding the key. So here's a question worth sitting with. Right now, today, what condition has to be true before you allow yourself to feel genuinely happy? Not content, not okay, actually happy. I'm guessing there's at least one, maybe several. And I'm guessing a 7-year-old version of you would look at that list and have absolutely no idea what any of it means. This is not about throwing away your goals or pretending life has no real challenges. It's about noticing a specific pattern that you've been scheduling your happiness, filing it away for later, for when things are better, calmer, more in place. And the question is, how long have you been doing that? And how much longer are you planning to? The fix isn't what most people expect. It's not about lowering your standards, not about becoming satisfied with mediocrity. It's about separating two things that got tangled up a long time ago, working toward something and being happy while you work toward it. These don't have to be in sequence. You don't have to earn happiness before you feel it. You're allowed to feel it during, even on the difficult days, especially on the difficult days. Psychologist Sonja Lyubomirsky found that about 40% of our happiness is determined by intentional activity, the things we choose to do and how we choose to think, not by circumstances, not by what we achieve. 40% is actually quite a lot of room to move. And one of the most consistent findings across happiness research is this. People who find meaning and connection in the ordinary moments, the regular Tuesday, the walk to work, the quiet morning, consistently report higher life satisfaction than people who are waiting for the extraordinary. Children are not waiting for the extraordinary. That's their secret. Practically, the next time you catch yourself thinking, I'll be happy when, try finishing the sentence differently. Not when I get there, but, and I can also be a little happy right now while I'm working toward it. Not instead of the goal, alongside it. The kid with the cardboard box isn't less ambitious than the adult chasing the promotion. They just haven't learned yet that they need to wait. You don't have to wait either. Think about the last time you were genuinely happy, not relieved that something was over, not proud of something you achieved, just happy. Chances are it wasn't during one of the big moments. It was during something ordinary, a conversation that went long, a meal that tasted exactly right, a quiet Saturday morning with nowhere to be. Those moments don't require conditions. They never did. You just forgot to look. Happiness was never something you lost. It's something you've been saving for later, for when you've earned it, for when everything is finally right. But what if later never comes and right now was always enough? If this one felt close to home, save it. Because this is the kind of thing that's easy to forget the moment you move on. Subscribe if you want psychology that doesn't just explain how the mind works, but why it sometimes works against you.